last week. Okay, thank you for your submissions. Okay, first I will discuss about Suyang homework first. Yeah. Okay, for this one. Yeah. Okay. Is oh, I haven't shared my screen, right? Oh, sorry, I haven't shared my screen. Let me share my screen first. Yeah. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, so Suyang, this is your homework. Okay, generally, right? I think for example, like okay. For example, like this kind of questions, okay, which is they ask you to like explain how the Xylem vessel for their function. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Showing about your answer. Okay.
The meeting page.
Sorry.
It's stuck at the meeting page.
Oh, what happened now? Okay, let me try again. Okay, I think it would be better. Can you see now? Can you see? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever the question asking about this one, explain how something are adapted for their functions. So that's why your answer is like strengthens with lignin. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, but there's no description other that. You should write your description. For example, like xylem vessel are strengthens with lignin to provide the support. Okay, to provide the mechanical support to the plant. Yeah, which is this kind of the description because they ask you to explain, right? So that's why if you write just a point, there's no more explanations. I just worry you might not get any mark because sometimes if the examiner they just very strict, right, they will not give you any mark because you just state down the structures. You are not explaining them. So that's why you should state down the structure and then explain them. So for example, like Xylem vessel, they have thick wall due to the lignin. So lignin, they will provide the support to the plants or to the Xylem vessel. And then this one, hollow tube, right? Okay, what is meant by hollow tube? I also don't know how to say in Mandarin, but hollow tube refer to, like drinking straw. Your drinking straw, right? I mean, your 吸管, okay, your 吸管, okay. It's a long tubular structure like this, right? Yeah, so this is something like the hollow tube, okay? So the hollow tube refer to what? Okay, actually the important point is not the hollow tube. The important point is inside the Xylem vessel, right? There's no contents, okay? There's no cell contents inside. Yeah, so that's why this will help them to form a continuous flow of water. Yeah, so this is okay. And then this one, I think you should like hollow tube without any cytoplasm inside. You can just mention like no cytoplasm because no cytoplasm inside the Xylem vessel, it will be one of the important point. Yeah, see, no cell contents. So this is their feature. Okay, this is their feature. Okay, thick wall with lignin, no cell content, and then no end wall for the condenser flow. Okay, this is also correct. Okay, this is also correct. Yeah, so no end wall for continuous flow of water. Yeah, so you should write your answer in the more detailed way. It will be better. Okay. So these are the adaptations help them to transport water efficiently. And then for this one, right? This is at chapter 8. Okay, let me show you the chapter 8, right? The Anki notes for the chapter 8. I think you have some misconception for the chapter 8. Okay, wait, is this one? Chapter 8. Yeah, transport in plant. I think it's transport in plant. Okay, so the transport in plant, right? We learn about what? We learn about the transpiration, okay? Now we have a look on the transpiration first. Okay, because transpiration is very, very important topic to come out in the exam. Yeah, so you should know about the definitions for the transpiration. So it is referred to, loss of water vapors. Water vapor is a gas. Okay, it's not liquid, it's just a gas. So this water vapors, they evaporate, okay, from the plant. So loss of water vapors from the plant by evaporations from the surface of the miscible cell, followed by diffusion through the stomata. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, this means that, okay, maybe I can show you about the whole process for the transpiration. Okay, you can just imagine this way. Yeah, you can see this picture, right? Okay, so just imagine that transpiration happened due to what? Okay, transpiration happened due to they want to replace the loss of water through the evaporations from the leaf parts. So this is a plant. Okay, just imagine this is a plant. Okay, sorry, my drawing is not very nice. This is a plant, and then you can see this is the leaf part. Okay, this is the leaf part, right? And then this is the root part. Yeah, this is the root part, and then this is stem, root, stem, and then leaf. And then you already know that in the leaf part, right? They consist of the three cells which contain the chloroplast and chlorophyll. So just imagine, okay, the roots they consist of what kind of structures? The roots, right? They consist of the root hair cell. So the root hair cell will help to absorb the water and the mineral ions. So later the root hair cell, okay, they will allow the water, right, to move upwards. By what? By the xylem vessel. So xylem vessel are found in the root part, stem part, and also leaf parts. So don't forget, right? Your leaf part, stem part, and roots, right? They have both xylem vessel and the phloem vessel, just like they are in their different positions, different orientations. So that's why the water will get into the xylem vessel on the root part, and then they will just move upwards, transported to the xylem vessel on the stem, and then finally they reach a leaf. So whenever the water, they are just travel, I mean, the direction, right, is upwards because it's from the downside to the upside, right? So this is there's help by a force, okay, which is a pulling effect. We call this force as what? Cohesions and adhesions. So you need to know about these two types of force, cohesions and adhesions, which is the force of attractions between the water molecule. Okay, yeah. So that's why how you're able to describe the process. Okay, your first sentence is correct. Okay, you rewrite that the water enter the root hair cell from the soil into the into the plant cell. Okay, by the osmosis. And then for the second sentence, right, you write that the water enter the xylem and is transported to leaf, right? Okay, enter the xylem is correct. Okay, it is correct. Okay, and then transported to the leaf, right? It also correct, but just like lacking some detail. So that's why you should write about the process, how the water is being transported from the roots part to the leaf parts. So it's by what? It's by the cohesion force. So this is the point that you should write. Force of attraction between the water molecule due to the cohesions. So this cohesion is a kind of force that can allow the water molecule to just stick to each other. So that's why they can form a column of water. Okay, so this column of water, they just can help them to move up, travel upwards to the stem in the xylem. So that's why they can move up from the roots part to the stem part, and then finally they will reach the leaf parts. Okay, finally they will just reach the leaf part. And then now, the question is what? Okay, the question is, so just imagine, right, the water molecule, okay, the water molecule, they are just slowly moving, okay, moving upside by the cohesions, okay, cohesions. And then now they will get to where? Now they will go to your leaf, right? So when they go to leaf, they are actually start from where? They start from the xylem vessel, okay, because your leaf also have a xylem vessel. So you can see right here's a xylem vessel, okay. I just draw it in red color, that will be more obvious for you to see. So this is the xylem. So xylem in the leaf. So you can see, right, the function of xylem is what? Transport water and also the mineral ions. So remember these two substances are water and mineral ions being transported by the xylem. So later, the water, they can go out from the xylem to where? To the mesophyll cell. To the mesophyll cell, can you see? Because the mesophyll cell, yeah, I'm referring to the spongy mesophyll cell or the palisade mesophyll cell. They just located requires a side by side to the xylem vessel. Okay, just beside them only. So that's why the water come up from xylem vessel, right? They just enter the miscible cell. But you just can write miscible cell. It's okay. No need to write palisade miscible cell or spongy miscible cell. Just write miscible cell. Water get into the miscible cell. Okay, where's my cursor? Okay, so water get into miscible cell. So later water, right? They can diffuse from one miscible cell, get into another miscible cell, get into another miscible cell. Like in this way. All right. So this is by what? This is this process, right? Which is a water molecule. They can diffuse from one miscible cell to another miscible cell to another miscible cell. Is by what? The process: osmosis, additive transport, or diffusion. Tell me. What do you think? When the water, right, they just diffuse from one cell to another cell. Water, movement of water is which is referring to which kind of the transport method?
Osmosis.
Yes, it's osmosis. Yeah. So that's why whenever you involve the water movement, right, always is osmosis will be the answer. So when the water, okay, now from the miscible cell, right, now they go where? They just get up to the air space between the cell. Yeah. So that's why this process is called as what? The water in the miscible cell, right? They undergo the evaporations. Evaporations is a state, which is the water in the liquid form, right? They evaporate, become the water vapor, which is in the gas form, in the gaseous state. Okay, in the gaseous state. So later, when the water evaporate from the miscible cell, get into airspace, right? Now they become what? They become the water vapors. So here is a water vapor. Okay, maybe I can just put a yellow here. Sorry, a blue color here. So just imagine that. So just remember, if they reach an airspace, right? The airspace, they become what? They become the water vapors. Water vapors. Yeah, so that's why imagine that inside the airspace, there's a lot of water vapors, and then it is in the gas form. So what they will do, they will diffuse out, right? Yeah, from the from inside get into the outside, pass through the stomata, right? Which is the pores, which is small pores. Yeah. So this process is undergo by what? Diffusions. Okay, it's undergo by diffusion. Why? It is because that it is a water vapors. Water vapor is a gas. So whenever any kind of transport involved in the gas movements, it will belong to the diffusions. So I hope you understand, okay, how the water transport by the way, okay. Let me summarize, okay. Starting from the from the root part, right, which is from the root hair cell, okay. So the water, okay, they will go one by one cell, which is they will pass from the root hair cell to the root cortex cell, and then from the root cortex cell, and then I think I better type out, sorry. Yeah, so it is just by this way. Yeah, so the transport of water, right, initially is from the root hair cell. From the root hair cell, so just the root hair cell will absorb the water mineral ions. So from the root hair cell, they will go to where? Okay, they will go to the root cortex cell. Okay, root cortex cell. So later from the root cortex cell, they will go to where? They will go to the xylem vessel in the root part. Okay, xylem vessel in the root part. So when they reach the xylem vessel in the roots part, right? So they will attract, okay, by the cohesion force. Yeah, the cohesion force help the water to move upwards, and then they'll get into where? They'll just get into leaf. To the miscible cell in the leaf. Okay, yeah, miscible cell in the leaf part. Okay, before that, right, it is they will reach. Okay, they will reach the xylem vessel in the leaf. Xylem in the leaf. So only they can get into miscible cell in the leaf. So that's why they also travel by the osmosis, and then they will undergo the evaporations, and they will become what? They will become the water vapors. Yeah. So later the water vapors, they will undergo what? They will undergo the diffusions, right? Diffusions, and then they can diffuse to outside through the stomata. Okay, so here's the overall process. Later I will just send this note to you. So just remember, okay, sometimes the question they will ask about the function of the stomata. So in the terrestrial plants, okay, which is in the normal plant that we learn, stomata, they usually discover on the lower epidermis of the leaf. So what is the function of stomata? So stomata, right, they can help in 3 functions, okay? They can help in the transpiration, respiration, and the photosynthesis. Yeah, okay. So usually stomata, okay, they just help in exchange of gas, which is usually in the carbon dioxide and the oxygens. Yeah, and the oxygens. So that's why I think you should know about the transpiration. Okay, see, it's just loss of water vapor from the plant because water vapor is found in the airspace. So water vapor is produced from where? Water vapor is being produced from the evaporation. Okay, from the surface of the mesophyll cell. So later the water vapors will diffuse out through the stomata to the outside. Yeah, see. So finally, okay, the water, they will just diffuse out of the xylem into the mesophyll cell in the leaf. Okay, and then this process is by the osmosis. Okay, osmosis. So later, the water, they will evaporate from the surface of the cell. Or you can say that from the surface of the mesophyll cell into the airspace become the water vapor. So diffusion they will occur, okay, because now they become water vapor. So diffusion will occur, so they will allow the release of water vapor through the stomata. Yeah. Okay. So just describe in more detail way. How many marks? It's 4 marks. Okay, it's 4 marks. So like this, right? I can give you about 2 marks. Okay, I can give you about 2 marks. Yeah. So need to be more detailed. Okay. Yeah. So for this one, evaporate from the stomata, right? So you should say this that evaporate from the surface of the cell. Okay, get into the airspace. So later, the water vapor, right? They will just diffuse out through the stomata. And then for this one, why plant need nitrates? Okay, so plant, they can only absorb the nitrogens in form of nitrates, ions from their roots part, right? So that's why they need it because they want to build the elements for the amino acids. Because amino acid, right, they require the nitrogen elements. So actually you should say in this way, to obtain nitrogens, right, you should say that to obtain the amino acids to produce the proteins, to synthesize on the new proteins. So what are the protein products? Which is one of the protein product is the chlorophyll, okay? It's a chlorophyll. So this one I can give about 1 mark, okay? Give 1 mark because you should mention the amino acids. Amino acid is a very important keyword. Yeah, so that's why you require the amino acids as a building block, right? Because amino acid is a monomer. So remember, amino acid is a monomer. So you need to join few amino acids together and they will become a polypeptide chain. So this polypeptide chain, they will just fold to each other and become proteins. So yeah, I understand chlorophyll is just one of the proteins. This is also correct, okay? But just remember to mention amino acids. It's a keyword, okay? Okay, and then whenever you write about calculation, right? Because calculation is the easiest way to get mark, okay? Please don't lose mark on this one. Yeah, so your answer is correct, okay? Your answer is correct. Just like your detail, your procedure, right? Hopefully can be more detailed, okay? So for example, right? Yeah, I know you understand about this question, okay? Which is this one minus 73, right? And then you get 9.8, okay? You should write down step, like you're doing the max, okay? 9.8 over 7.3 times 100. So whenever they ask about percentage, right, just remember to put times 100, and then you get the answer. And then for this one, okay, how the plant growing in the spring and then in the summer. This is very, very special question. It asks about source and the sink. Okay, what is source and the sink? I think I go right at here. Hey, where is it? Source and the sink. Yeah, this one, okay? Source and the sink. Yeah, source is a region which is they will just produce the sugars And then at this side, right, there will occur the photosynthesis. Then how about the sink? Sink is the region which is a plant. Plant use up. They just use up the stored sugars or nutrients because they require the nutrient supply to allow them to produce fruits, flower, or some growing regions, for the storage and respiration. So just remember that source, produce it, sink, use up, they just use it. Okay, and then the important thing, okay, you should know the example. You should know the example for the source and the sink. Yeah, I know your answer got right. Okay, translocation is about what? It's about the substance, right, is being transported from source to sink. Yeah, that's correct, but it didn't answer about the point. Yeah, so that's why this one. Okay, explain how the translocation change between spring and summer in the potato plant show. Okay, you say that in the spring, translocation is mainly from source to sink. This is not really significant, right? Because no matter it is in the springs or in the summer, in any time, there will always be translocation from source to the sink. Okay, and then this one in the summer, the stem die. Okay, stem will not die in the summer, right? Yeah. So and also in the summer, right? In the summer there will be highlight intensity. Okay, it's 夏天, summer is 夏天, is highlight intensity. So I think the plant will be more active, and then they will have a higher rate of photosynthesis. So that's why they will not die. Okay, they will not die.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
It's like the figure shows like the plant is growing, so it's a bit confusing because if you look at the figure, it's just, like during the springtime it's like growing, and then in the summer it's like fully grown. So.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean anything, or is that just like wrong?
Oh, you mean that, okay, because the picture they just tell you that, okay, in the springtime the plant is not grow yet, but in the summertime, right, the plant already grow, germinates. You mean like this? So, but I'm not sure why the answer you write that in the summer the stem die. Yeah, for this one. No, okay, just want to confirm. In the summer the stem die. In the summer the stem die. The stem is not dying, right? See, the stem is like growing, right?
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, I think you want to write the spring. I think you write the wrong thing. You want to write the spring, right? Yeah, in the spring, the stem die, you want to write this. Okay. Yeah, so that's why be careful. Actually in the springtime, the plant didn't die actually. In the springtime, right, what they will do is the plant they just become inactive. Okay, because in the springtime, what will happen in the springtime, right? I think you experienced it before. Springtime, there will be low light intensity. I mean, there will be less sunlight. So less sunlight, it will cause the plants to reduce in the photosynthesis rate. Yeah. So that's why what will happen? There's no more sunlight. It's not normal. Okay, there will be less sunlight. Less sunlight, the photosynthesis is being reducing. So that's why your plant will produce lesser amount of the glucose. But the problem is your plant still need to survive. Okay, so that's why now in the springtime, the potato tuber, okay, in the summertime, just remember in the summertime, right? Oh, which is at this part, okay, in the summertime, yeah. So this is a growing shoot. Growing shoot will be the source of sink in the springtime. Oh, sorry, I think okay. In the summertime, okay, in the summertime, this is your shoot, right? This is your shoot. Yeah. Shoot, they can do what? They can do photosynthesis. Shoot, they can do photosynthesis in the summertime because there's a lot of sunlight. So that's why shoot is a one source. Yeah, shoot is a source. And then for this one, potato tuber, it is the organs, right? They will just use up the nutrients. Okay, use up, or they will just store the nutrients. So potato tubers, right, is a one we refer as sink. But when they come into the springtime, lesser light. Okay, so now the potato tuber will become source of sink. What do you think? In the springtime, lesser sunlight, low light intensity. potato right, previously in the summertime, it is a sink. It is a sink in the summertime is because they just use up the nutrients. Okay, they just use up and store the nutrients. And they get the nutrients from the shoot, okay, from the shoot. Because the shoot, they can do what? Shoot, they can do the photosynthesis. But what happened in the springtime? The potato tuber will switch to become source or sink.
Source.
Source, yeah, it will become source. Why? It's because that, okay, and then you can see, right, this is a growing shoot. A growing shoot, can they do photosynthesis? What do they? Can this growing shoot do photosynthesis and produce the sugar?
No.
It's still growing. No, okay, so that's why growing shoot, right, at this point, they should be the sink because it's growing, right? And then the potato tuber at this time, right, because potato tuber, they store a lot of nutrients inside. So that's why they will become source. They will become the source, and then they will just help to supply the nutrients, the glucose, to the other growing regions, which is in the springtime. Yeah. So this is a bit tricky, I know. So that's why source, okay, what is the organs in the plant? They can become the source. Yeah, the leaf parts. The leaf parts, okay? Leaf part. Usually it's a leaf part. They will become the source. It's because the leaf, they can do the photosynthesis. And then how about in the winter time? In the winter time with a lesser sunlight, and the plant unable to do much photosynthesis, so that's why they can utilize the nutrients stored in the potato tubers or the root cortex cell. Okay, I think usually as they will ask about this one, okay, which is a potato tuber. Yeah, which is a potato tuber. So that's why your potato tuber, right, they can become source or they can become sink either. Yeah. And then about your sink, actually this where is okay. I forget to put one potato tuber. Okay. Because potato tuber, okay, at the summertime, they can store the nutrients. And then at the springtime, right, they can just release their nutrients to the other growing regions. And then, so for the sink, right, sink is a region which is the plant just utilize the nutrient for growth. Yeah, so it refers to the regions which is the plant they are growing. For example, they're just growing their new shoot, okay, new shoot or new leaf. It's not new leaf, sorry, it's new shoot, yeah, new shoot or any other growing regions. Okay, another important thing, I think that's all. Just need to clarify it. Yeah. Okay. For you to easy remember it. Whenever you see this growing shoot, right, something with the word growing, okay. Usually this region, right, they are referring to the sink because they are still growing. Growing means what? Immature yet. Okay, they are still immature yet. They still require nutrient supply from other. So that's why they are usually the sink. Okay, so that's why in the springtime, the potato tubers, okay, they will acting like the source because in the springtime, lesser light intensity, right? So that's why they can help to break down the store starch inside them, become the sucrose. Starch can break down to become the sucrose. So while the growing shoot, okay, they acting like a sink because they just require energy supply for growth. Because growing shoot, right? Growing shoot, they are still on their growing stage. They are still growing. And then in the summertime, the leaf, right, they can just carry out the photosynthesis and then just acting like the source. Yeah, so they just transporting the sucrose to the new tuber, which is acting like the sink for storage. So that's why potato tuber, they can become source or they can become sink based on situations. I hope we are clear on that. Okay, and then for this one, okay. Oh. I think you know about the concept behind, okay, because which is the filler is being removed, right? So that's why there will be accumulation of the sucrose and the amino acid, right, on the spot. Yeah. So this one, okay, your answer This one, okay, I'll give you 2 marks, okay, because I see this one, film. I see you mentioned films. They will just transport sucrose and amino acids, okay. This I can give 1 mark, and then this sucrose will collect both girders. This is 2nd mark. But the first 2 points, right, is not too significant to answer this question. So you should say by the swelling is caused by what? It's caused by due to the translocations is being interrupted. So that's why you should write about translocations inside your answer. This is a keyword. And then translocation is being inhibited or interrupted, up to you. So, and then translocation referring to what? Referring to the sucrose, okay? They are made in the leaf and they will transport by the phylum towards the roots part, which is the zinc. Yeah, from the soil to zinc, as what you say. So this is based on the marking scheme, okay? 4 marks, okay? 4 marks will give you what? They'll give you, okay, translocations, interaction of translocation, 1 mark. Carbohydrates made in the leaf, 2nd mark. And then transported by phylum towards the roots part, which is zinc, 3rd mark. And then this one, 4 mark. Okay, this is correct. Yeah, okay, I think this is your careless mistake. Active transport, right? Just remember, active transport is referring to they are just transport mineral from low to high. Okay, from the low to high. Not high to low, okay? High to low only apply to the diffusion and the osmosis. Yeah, this is your careless mistake. Or you can say against a gradient, okay, against the gradients. And then for this one, okay, this showing about what? This showing about your light intensity, okay? And then based on their condition provided. So you can say A, B, C, and the A, right? A has the highest rate of photosynthesis. It's because of what? It's because they have a higher temperature, which is 25%, sorry, 25 degrees Celsius. And then they have also have a higher concentrations of the carbon dioxide, 0.4%, okay? Yeah, so that's why A will be higher. And then why B is higher than C is because B, they have higher concentrations of the carbon dioxide, 0.4% compared to 0.04%. So you need to describe, okay, B and C, okay, describe and explain. Describe, okay, describe the trend of the graph, and then explain the reason behind. So that's why your description, okay, in the light intensity, B and C increase and then remain constant. Okay, this is okay. I understand this sentence, right? You're writing about trend of the graph, but it will be better if you write about whenever you increase the light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis also increase. This is also you are actually describing the trend of the graph, right? So here's the answer. So you can see how is the answer scheme they write the descriptions for this one. Yeah, because you can see the relationship. Whenever you increase the light intensity, it will cause your rate also increase. So that's the relationship between them. I'm referring to the relationship between the x-axis and the y-axis. This is the x-axis, right? This is the y-axis. So when the x increase, y also increase. This is also one of the way to describe the trend of the graph. If you can see the relationship between x and y. Yeah, so as the light intensity increase, right, the rate of photosynthesis also increase. Yeah, and then you explain it. Because the light will provide the energy, and then the light intensity is a limiting factor at this point. Okay, light intensity is limiting factor. So why is a limiting factor? Limiting factor is when you increase that factor, right, it will cause a rate to increase, rate of photosynthesis to increase also. So that one we call it limiting factor. And then this one, okay, this is correct. The rate of photosynthesis are the same at low light intensity. Okay, this one also correct, okay, because you are describing the trends. Okay, but you can referring to the answer. Yeah, the rate of level of when the light intensity become not a longer limiting factor. Yeah, see, they are describing the trends. I mean, in the first sentence, right, they are describing the trend, but later, right, they explain why is it, because now they become they are no longer to become a limiting factor for the light intensity. Okay, and then this one, rate of C is lower than B because the carbon dioxide is a lower concentrations. Okay, and then in the, yeah, so in the curve C, okay, carbon dioxide is a limiting factor at the lower light intensity. Okay, and then they explain this. So this is the explanation. See, carbon dioxide is a reactant for the photosynthesis. So that's why whenever you increase the carbon dioxide, it will cause the photosynthesis rate to increase also. So that's the reason. So you see how they explain this way. Describe first, okay, describe the trends, which is you need to describe the relationship. Okay, like when the X increase, Y also increase like this, and then you explain the reason. Because X is what kind of thing? Yeah, because the carbon dioxide is a reactant. Like that. Because it is a limiting factor, something like this. So this one, right, in the B, carbon dioxide is a limiting factor at a high light intensity. Okay, B, carbon dioxide is a limiting factor for the high light intensity. This is not really, this is a bit weird. I'm sorry, but this is a bit weird for me. Okay, because you say that, yeah, in C, carbon dioxide is a limiting factor at the lower light intensity. Okay, this one I agree with you. Okay, because when you increase, when you increase the carbon dioxide, okay, when you increase the carbon dioxide, it will increase the rate of the photosynthesis. So that's why carbon dioxide is clearly the limiting factor at the point C. But in the point B, right? In the point B, okay, B, now the carbon dioxide concentration, they will not longer become a limiting factor. Because you can see the A, they also have the same carbon dioxide concentration, right? Which is also 0.4%. So that's why this referring to at the B, right? The limiting factor should be the temperature. You agree with me? Yeah. So that's a thing. Okay. So this one I can give you 3 marks. Okay. It's okay. Just improve, and then it will become more better. And then for this one, okay. This one, right? Yeah. Your answer, oh, they are correct. Just you are taking some point. Okay. So you say that, yeah. Carbon dioxide respiration provide energy, 1 mark. Store as the starch. Okay. Convert to sucrose. Okay, it can convert to sucrose. Okay, sucrose. Yeah, this one I cannot give you mark because of what? Wrong spelling. Yeah. Okay, so that's why whenever the examiner mark this kind of wrong spelling, right, they will just not give you any mark. Okay, so that's why you need to ensure your spelling is correct. Okay, finish. So thank you, Suyang, for your homework. Okay. Yeah, I think we still have some time. So I think at your current time, right, just need to do the past year. Okay. Try your best to do the past year. We still haven't do the paper 2. Okay, because now we focus on paper 4 first, but later I think we need to do the paper 2. Paper 2 is an objective, but paper 2, right, you still have a long time to go. You will have your paper 2 exam in June. Okay, in the June. Yeah. So they'll have some time for it. Okay, this is Athens. Okay, this is Athens. Yeah, so Athens, your answer is overall okay lah. I think it's okay. You got right the point. Yeah, so you can see. So I mean, when you write the answer, right, just write like simple. Which is when the examiner mark, they can see the point. Insoluble. See, insoluble. Too large. Broken down. Okay, because they mark a lot of the exam paper. So that's why they are running out of time. So usually they just see the keyword. If they see a keyword, they just can give you the mark. So just keep your answer short and nice. It will be okay. And then for this one, okay, this one, oh, your answer is okay, but you're lacking some point. For this one, describe and explain the difference of the cell before and after immersion in the salt solutions. Okay. Whenever you write about this one, right, like water diffuse out from this region A to region B, because region A, they will have a higher or the lower potential than the region B. So it's like you can write about the comparison. For example, right, you say that, okay, the first 2 sentence is correct, okay, but you can see this sentence, okay, this is due to the salt solutions. having the lower potential. So the water is lost by osmosis. I think this one you can add on something. Low water potential compared to which region? So that's why this is the answer. You have a lower water potential than the cytoplasm of the cell. So that's why because the water, right, diffuse out from the plant cell, get into the outside. Yeah, and then this one, down the potential gradient. Okay, this is not okay, you can improve your answer, become like down the water potential gradient. You can add more, you can add one more water also. Water also can, okay? Because usually we refer to about the like the concentrated gradients, but in the water, right, you can say about water potential gradients. Okay, that's all. And then remember to write about vacuum. You're lacking the point of a vacuum because vacuum, right? When the water diffuse out from the cell to the outside, they are actually losing the water from the plant vacuum. Yeah. So when the plant vacuum lose the water, right, they'll just become smaller, shrink in the size. So that's why they'll just appear darker after immersions due to their losing water. So you can see, losing water, you are explain the reasons. Okay. And then for this one, okay, this one, right, your answer is all correct, but just lacking of 1 point, okay, because they give you how about 5 marks or 5 marks, your answer is only about 4 marks, okay, which is this one. The body temperature is increasing because they brain detect low temperature, 1 mark. Vasoconstriction, 2nd mark. Shivering, 3rd mark. Okay, less blood flow to the skin, 4th mark. So that's why you lacking 1 more point, which is you can say about hair erector muscle. So that's why whenever you have a actual exam, right, you need to write your answer very fast. So that's why you need to be very familiar with the keyword, what kind of keyword to write. So that's why I'm giving I'm giving you a lot of the example of the answer for the past year, because I hope I can train you to know about what keyword to write. Okay, this is also correct. Just need to you need to write the procedure. Okay, how you get the answer. Just like you are doing the maths, right? You are doing mathematics. If you didn't write the procedure right, you'll be deducted mark. Biology also in the same thing, because they give you about 2 marks, 2 marks or 3 marks. Usually like that. And then this is also all correct. And then this one, yeah, also correct. Okay, nothing wrong. Also, and then okay, for this one, just like about 1 point. The xylem also can provide support to the plant. Yeah. So xylem vessel not only help to transport water, mineral ions, right? Xylem also consists of lignin. So lignin, they can provide support to the plant. Because you write about this one, right? How many marks? 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks you can get about. Okay, you say that xylem and phylums, 1 mark. Phylum for translocations, 2nd mark. Xylem transport from water and mineral ions, okay, 3rd mark. So you still have 4 marks. So you need to add additional point. Okay, so this is just like, if you write the answer right, okay, I see your answer, you got the keyword, but just to be more detailed. For example, like, and then how you're able to write your answer in a more detailed way is like, whenever you write the answer, right, you can see the flow, okay? For example, like, just how we write about the transpiration, right? Transpiration, you can see the flow. Starting from where? Starting from the xylem vessel, okay, to the mesophyll cell, then to the air space, then to the stomata, and get out. Yeah, you can see the flow. Yeah, so that's why you write the answer, right? You say that give buoyancy to reduce the density of what? Okay, of a leaf. You can add one more thing for this one, of a leaf. Okay, gas exchange with the air. Yeah, with the air. Just be more detailed, okay, if you have some time. Okay, and then for this one, okay, this is a bit tricky, okay. I think exam they will not come out this kind of question before, but I'm not sure about your batch. Okay, maybe because I saw this kind of question, right? Which is you didn't learn this before. It's just about your common sense. Okay, microplastic. Microplastic is just plastic, right? And then you know that plastic is indigestible material. You cannot digest a plastic. This is common sense. So that's why the mass between 2000s and 2020 is an estimate. And then you say that, yeah, not all microplastic can be collected. And then mass in a sample taken could be too small to be seen. This is not really a fact, okay? So that's why you can say that because they're asking about why, the reason, okay, the reason, which is the microplastic is an estimate. So that's why you should say in more professional way. For example, like your ocean area is too large. So that's why it's very hard to find that microplastic because it's too large area already. And then some of the microplastic also be eaten by animals, which is more logical, right? The answer. Okay, and then for this one, producer. Actually, maybe I can show you how the marking scheme will look like. Wait me for a moment. I put at where? Oh, I put at here. Okay, later I'll just send this to you. Okay, see, this is the marking scheme. Yeah, correct answer and then common student mistake. Okay, later I will send for this paper to you, and then you can see about the last few questions, right? Which is here. Yeah, see, Zeland function. Okay, you should write about transport and support. Most of the students, right, they just forget the support, so that's why you cannot get the full mark. And then see this one, hydrophyte. Yeah, large airspace for the gas exchange. Yeah, so some of the students, right, they call it as another plant. They call aquatic plant, or they just calling the airspace, right, or air gap, which is incorrect. Because you know that the airspace they are between the spongy cell. Yeah, so that's why they are very, very focused on the keyword. Okay, so here's a keyword. I want to show about this one. See, so how you're able to write the producer? Producer, okay, the keyword light energy. Absorb, trap the light energy to produce the carbohydrates. Yeah, so that's why your answer, which is okay, making all nutrient. Okay, this is too general already. Yeah, so this one you cannot get mark. Okay, so you should write that. Yeah, you should write that. This one you should write based on this. Okay, use energy to produce a carbohydrate. Okay, carbohydrates. Yeah, because some of the students, right, they just make their own food. Yeah, which is too general. Okay, which is too general already. Sorry, actually nutrient they also accept. Sorry, nutrient they can also accept. They accept nutrient. Because nutrient include carbohydrates, right? Yeah. But you should add more, okay, which is a light. They're using the light energy, okay? Light energy. They are using the light energy to make their own nutrients. Okay, so actually for the maybe from here, right? Yeah, I say that you can add on light energy. Okay, add on the light energy. Because what kind of energy is it? Kinetic energy or any kind of energy or heat energy? So that's why this is a light energy. And then you can get the full mark. Yeah, you mentioned the photosynthesis is correct. So that's why I can give you 1 mark. Okay, I give you 1 mark. Okay, and then for this one, right, suggest how microplastic can end up in consumer. So actually this is they asking about what is the outcome for the microplastic. So that's why after the microplastic, right, yeah, you say that the animals, right, they just eat the microplastic. So that's why because of microplastic, right, they just pass from one animal to another animal. So actually it's like this. The most important outcome is referred to this one. Okay, microplastic is non-biodegradable. What is meant by non-biodegradable? Which is your environment cannot decompose the microplastic. So this microplastic, they'll just sustain, they just remains themselves in the environments. They will not broken down by any kind of decomposer or bacteria. So that's why they cannot be broken down. So this is the outcome. Yeah, this is the outcome. So that's why they will just build up in the environments. And then for this one, okay, and that's why whenever the question asks about describe, see, describe or explain, right? Better you write in full sentence, okay? Yeah, but even though your keyword is all correct, but I just worry they will deduct your mark, okay? You better write in full sentence. Simple sentence also can, okay? Yeah. And then for this one also, okay, better write in full sentence. You can design your own sentence. Just they can show this keyword also can. They show the keyword. Okay, so that's all. Yeah, so today we're going to discuss about the chapter 9. Okay, we will discuss about chapter 9. So we can open the chapter 9 notes. Okay, it's not notes, sorry. It's an example of the question for chapter 9. You can open this one, okay, 2023. I just show you the answer. I just want to show the answer. For the chapter 9, okay, it's a very important topic because they will always come out in the exam almost every year. So that's why, I just quickly go through all of the questions. Yeah. So for the chapter 9, right? Okay. So we already done this. Chapter 8. Okay, for the chapter 9, you should know about what? Okay, you can refer to my Anki notes, the chapter 9, which is this one, the chapter 9. Yeah. So you can read through it, okay? Read through. You can read on the question, okay? Question and the answer. And then get familiar with what kind of keyword to write in the answer. Yeah, because they always come in the same thing. Oh, okay. One thing I want to show you, okay, I just forget to show you, which is this one. Yeah. I also designed the note for you, which is this one. Okay, I hope it will be, when you see this kind of notes, right? Actually, it's just an analysis of the past 10 years. Chapter 9 come up with what kind of topic. So this is the thing that you should memorize, okay? For example, right, you need to memorize what is meant by double circulations or single circulations. So this is definition, okay, which is the blood pass through the heart twice, okay? First keyword for every one complete circuit of the body. So this is the second keyword. And then you need to, and then you can write about the pulmonary and systemic circulations. So pulmonary, right, which is from the heart, right? Yeah, from the heart itself. They'll just transport the blood to the lungs under very low pressure. And then for the systemic, right, they just from the heart, they will just transport the blood to the all part of body under a very high pressure. And then they like to ask about this kind of question. What is the advantage of the double circulations compared to single circulation? Is because that you can separate into two types of circulations. And then you know that pulmonary circulations is under lower pressure. Why pulmonary circulation, they should have a lower pressure? It's because they want to prevent rupture of the pulmonary or lung capillary. Because you should remember that your lung capillary, or we call it pulmonary capillary, they are very delicate because their wall is very thin. They have a very one-cell thick wall. This is to allow them to do the reduce the distance for the diffusions. So that's why they want to prevent the rupture of the capillary walls. And then they can help to maintain high blood pressures in the systemic circulation. So that's why they can allow faster or more efficient delivery of oxygen to reach your body cell. Yeah. And then lastly, okay, it can help to prevent mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated bloods. Yeah, so this is very easy for you, I think. Okay, so I think we can go through what kind of exam, what kind of question come before. So that's why for this question, right, you need to know how is the structure of the heart. Yeah, so B and C, okay, you should know that B. Okay, Adam's Young, B is left ventricle or right ventricles? B, here. What do you think? B is left ventricles or right ventricles? You see the wall? Yes, what's the answer? B is left ventricles or right ventricles?
Left ventricle.
Yeah, it's the left ventricle. It's because they have a thicker wall. Yeah, so that's why you should explain the reason, okay? Explain the reasons why the left ventricle is thicker than the right ventricle. Is because they have a thicker wall. This is a keyword, okay? Thicker wall. Thicker wall because it contains more muscular tissue. Okay, why they should contain more muscular tissue? It's because the left ventricle, right, they will just contract more pressure to generate higher pressure. Okay, oh, sorry. So that's why the heart, the left ventricles, right, they can pump the blood under very high pressure to ensure the blood is transported to all part of the body. Because by a long distance, yeah, they require longer distance. Because from the heart to the body cell, right, they are longer distance compared to the heart to the lungs, which is shorter distance. Okay, the keyword. And then for this one, okay. Actually, this is, I think they didn't come out this kind of questions already a very, very long time, but this is still in your syllabus. So that's why whenever the question asks about this one, okay, like the red blood cell, how is it moved from the vena cava to the aorta? From the vena cava, go into where? Right side. Okay. Yeah, from the right side, which is from the right atriums to the right ventricles, right? And then later the right ventricles, they will go to where? They will go to the lungs. Yeah, your lungs. By what? By the pulmonary arteries. So that's why the lungs, right? Okay, they will do what? Yeah, they will do their exchange of the gas. So the cell will travel through the lungs by the pulmonary circulations. And then they will just return the heart to what? Through the pulmonary veins. Yeah. So just remember that pulmonary veins, okay, and that's what tell me. Pulmonary veins, they carry oxygenated or deoxygenated. Pulmonary veins. It carry oxygenated or deoxygenated. What do you think? What's the answer? Pulmonary veins, they carry oxygenated. The answer is?
Oxygenated blood.
Yeah, they carry oxygenated. And then remember, whenever the question asks about what kind of blood vessel consists highest percentage of the oxygens, the answer should be the pulmonary veins, not aorta. Because aorta, they still need to receive blood from the from the left ventricle, right? And then left ventricles, they receive blood from left atrium. Left atrium, they just receive blood from the pulmonary vein. So it's like pulmonary veins, even though they have a name of vein, but they consist of highest percentage of the oxygens. So from the pulmonary veins, right, it enter the left atriums and then pass from the left atrium to the left ventricles. How many marks? 6 marks. Yeah, 6 marks. Okay, because I know that this is actually, I think my answer is very, very complete. But in the exam, right, just write as fast as you could. And then just ensure your point is 6 enough already. Okay, so for example, like one sentence, right, it can become about 1 point, 3 point, 4 point, 3 point, 6 point, right? Enough already. Just answer based on how many marks being given. Okay, and then this show about what? This show about heart rates. And then they record using what? Okay, you can use the different methods to measure your heart activity. ECG is one of the way. You can use the ECG. What does it mean by ECG? Electrocardiograms. Okay, but in the short form, you can write ECG. It's okay for you. You don't need to write about the full sentence. Just write ECG. You can get mark. And then you can calculate the pulse rate. How you can calculate pulse rates? You can you can put your fingers at your your hand at this part, so you can calculate the pulse rate, and then you can use the stethoscope. The equipment which is a stethoscope being used by the doctors. Yeah, so that's why you can listen it closing your bath. What's meant by this one? Listening closing your bath is because, right, your your heart sound, okay, is like lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. Okay, this kind of sound, right? So that's why this is due to what? Due to the heart valve is closed to prevent the backflow of blood. So that's why the closure of valve, right, they just produce a sound, lub dub. Okay, and then this is calculations. Okay, calculation, right? How you're able to calculate it? It's just like this. See, they ask about what? Percentage change in the heart rate from the maximum heart rate reached during the race until the heart rate recorded at 18 minutes, right? Oh, so 18 minutes until where? Until here, okay? It's until here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's here. 18 minutes. And then, so that's why original value is at 15 minutes. The heart rate is about 180 beat per minute. BPM is referred to beat per minute, which is in 1 minute, how much is your heartbeat? How much is your heartbeat in 1 minute? BPM, beat per minute. So that's why at 15 minutes, right, your heart rate is about 180. But when they go to the 18th minutes, right, they drops, okay, becoming 92 BPM. So that's why you can calculate your percentage change, okay? And also, okay, Adam Suyang, this kind of question also like to come out in the exam. How to calculate the percentage change, which is they referring to what? Your final value, okay, divided your initial value. And then divided, sorry, it's minus, okay. Final value minus the initial value, okay, you get the number, right? And then you divide the initial value. And then you times the 100, because it's in the percentage, right? And then you get the answer. If they ask about percentage change, they will come out this question whenever they ask about something like in the chapter 3, they ask you to calculate how much is the percentage change of the potato strip, right? Yeah, which is the same thing also. Okay, and then this one, why the heart rate must increase during exercise? Why? Because you are doing the exercise, you need more oxygen supply to your muscle cell. So that's why your muscle cell, they can, not only oxygen, you should provide more glucose also, okay? Oxygen is for what? Oxygen is to allow your muscle cell to carry out the aerobic respirations. Glucose is to allow them to carry out the fuel, okay? This one, fuel. Because glucose is a source of energy. Yeah, your muscle require energy to do the contraction and relaxation. So that's why they require glucose. So that's why the supply of the glucose, they can allow the muscle to release more energy. So they can use the energy for more muscle contractions. And then they can help to remove excess carbon dioxide being produced. Yeah. So just remember, this kind of question, more oxygen, more glucose, more energy supply to the muscle cell. That's all. And then for this one, okay, you should know the name of the vessel. For example, like, this S, right? See, S is a blood vessel. S is a blood vessel, okay? From the lung, get into the heart, right? So S is what? It's a pulmonary veins. Yeah, recognize the vessel, And then V, what is V? V is a septum, okay? Septum, which is the chamber, the chamber divided between the left side and the right side. So V is a septum. And then how about T? Okay, you should know about the vessel, the name of vessel for each organ. Okay, T is a vein, okay? Because it's come out from the kidney, so known as what? Vena vein. Yeah, this one. Just recognize the vessel. And then for this one, know about the function of septums. Okay, so what is septums? Is how to separate the left side and right side of hearts, and then prevents the mixing of bloods. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, okay. See, they come with the same thing. Advantage of double circulation. How many marks? 3 marks. Okay, 3 marks. Okay, and then for the blood vessel, right, you should know about the few blood vessel. You should know about coronary artery, and then you have what kind of blood vessel. I already state down in this document, right? I think I put it here, which is this page. I think I put at, where is it? The name of the each blood vessel. Okay, here. Okay, for the liver, right? For the liver, it's very important you should know about the hepatic portal veins. Because hepatic portal veins is a very specialized kind of vessel, because they will just transport the nutrient-rich blood. Yeah, actually they are transporting this nutrient-rich blood, which is, even though the blood is high in the carbon dioxide, but it consists a high level of nutrients, which is the glucose and the amino acids from the intestines. They come up this kind of question before, I think repeat few times for the hepatic portal veins. Okay, yeah, see, you should know about the name of the blood vessel for each organs. Okay, so this one just read down by yourself. So just remember, artery, they will always transport the blood, right? Artery, they will just transport the blood away from the heart. Vein, why I put the wrong thing? Okay, sorry, let me look through again. I think I put the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. I will need to correct it back. Okay, just remember, artery, right? Artery, they are allow the blood transport away from the heart, because artery, they allow the blood, right, transport from the heart to outside. But the vein, okay, they will just get back towards the heart. Yeah, so this one, vena vein, right? Vena vein is towards, it's not away. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this vena artery is away. Yeah, away. Okay, and then this is also the same thing. And then you should know about what? You should know about this one. You should able to describe the structure of the vein and the artery. So for the vein, right, you should say about what? White lumen. Okay, white lumen. And then this one, okay, description of structures. Describe its structures, okay? So you can write about your explanations. Yeah, white lumen. So that's why you can allow the blood to flow under very low pressure. Low pressure with lesser resistance. How about the valve? Oh, I think my laptop is going to. Wait me for a moment. I need to recharge my laptop. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then you have a valve. Okay, valve is only present in the veins to prevent the backflow of the blood due to low pressure. So listen carefully to my sentence. Okay, this is a keyword you can use in the exam. And then vein, right, they have a very thin wall, okay? Thin wall. So they cannot withstand higher pressure. This is opposite way to the artery. Artery, they have a thick wall, okay? Thick muscular wall, no valve, small lumen, high pressure. Okay, and then wall, they consist of elastic fiber and muscle fiber. This is also same in the artery. And then sometimes they will ask about the valve. Okay, so you need to identify about the 4 valves, which is the pulmonary, aortic, semilunar, and the, I forget what kind of valve, the name. Oh yeah, the aortic valve, pulmonary valve, and also the tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Yeah. I think in the exam you can just answer it in a general way, which is you can use the 2 terms, semilunar valve. Because the semilunar valve, right, it consists of the aortic valve, and the pulmonary valve. But the atrioventricular valve, right, include the tricuspid and bicuspid valve. So this is the format you should write, okay? Prevent backflow of blood from where to where? Yeah. So now it's from the pulmonary artery to the right ventricles. They want to prevent the blood, right, flow from the artery back to the right ventricles. So that's why they should have the valve. Sometimes they would just ask the label about the blood vessel. So you can see which blood vessel transport blood with a very higher oxygen concentration. So that's why the answer is vein. Yeah, so vein transport the blood with the highest oxygen level. Okay, just skip, which is the same thing only. Okay, sometimes they will ask you about this one. Why heart is an organ? Okay, because organ referring to what? Organ is referring to there will be a group of tissue. They just work together to perform the same functions. So it's not as hard as you think. Okay, the valve also the same thing. Also the same thing. Okay, one thing I didn't mention to you a lot. This one, blood clot. You should know about the blood clot, how the blood clot is being produced, right? So, okay, maybe I can ask you, what is L? Anderson, what is L? L is a mesh-like network. Look like rope, right? Look like rope. So what is a L? What do you think? L is a fibrils. Okay, L is a fibrils. So you have the red blood cell. So see, J is a red blood cell with the biconcave disc shape. M is the white blood cell. How you can recognize the white blood cell? So just remember that your white blood cell is round in shape, spherical, round in shape. Okay, it's like ball. Okay, it's like a ball. Yeah, but your red blood cell, right, is like already depressed in the middle. So that's why they call it biconcave disc shape. So they always ask about the process, how the blood clot is being produced. So your answer should include what? Your answer should include the, for example, like this one, okay? Platelets. Yeah. So you trigger the production of platelets. So the platelets, okay, will convert, okay? They will convert the soluble fibrinogens become the insoluble fibrins. Second point. Yeah. So because fibrin is insoluble, right? So this insoluble fibrins, they will just form a fiber-like mesh around the red blood cell. So this will trap, the keyword, trap the red blood cell and the white blood cell to form a blood clot. You can refer to here, which is the last few page. I think I put the last few page, the bloods. This one, yeah. Which is the same thing, okay? Just write the same thing inside your answer. This is a common question. Okay. Importance of blood clotting, because you want to reduce further blood loss, as also it as a, it acting like a barrier to prevent the pathogens. Yeah. Two functions, prevent blood loss and barrier to prevent pathogens. Okay, that's all. Okay, and then for this one, yeah, same thing. Okay, I just skip if they ask about same thing. Yeah, see, asking about same question again. Okay, the answer is almost the same. Just repeat. Yeah, so that's why it's very important. You need to study the past year. Okay, this is the same thing. I think we discussed this before. And then one thing, okay, this one, lymphatic, okay. In the new IGCSE syllabus, it will not come out lymphatic. So just skip all the lymphatic content. It will not come out lymphatic system. No. So this one, they will not come out. Okay, I'm so sorry. This one, I just put a mark here. Okay, you don't need to memorize it. It will not come in the answer. Not including. They only include the circulatory system. That's all. Okay, veins and lymphatic vessel. Okay. Okay. Sometimes, this kind of question, when they ask about chapter 9, right, they will combine with the chapter 10 and ask together. Because chapter 10, you learn about what? You learn about immunity, right? Yeah, for example, like this way. Okay. This one, see, in the lymphatic system, these are structures, they consist large number of lymphocytes. Lymphocyte is a white blood cell, okay? It's a kind of white blood cell. So this white blood cell found in the lymphatic system, which is along your lymphatic vessel, your lymph nodes. You know, you have a lymph nodes, but this is also not included in your syllabus. But this is including in your syllabus. This one, okay? State the role of the lymphocyte. Yeah. So yeah, are you okay? Okay, so that's why lymphocyte is the one who providing the active immunity. The keyword active immunity, they will stimulate the antibody productions. Yeah, which is they referring to lymphocyte. They will produce the antibody and then stimulate the active immunity. Yeah, and then this antibody, what they will do? This antibody, right? They can bind to the antigens on the pathogens. What's mean by antigens? Antigen is just like a cell marker, okay? It's a markers on the surface of the pathogens. So that's why your lymphocyte, they can just recognize this antigen is produced by your own body or is being invaded by outside. So if they detect there's a from outside, right, they'll just launch an immunity response to kill that pathogens. Yeah, so it's like once the antibody bind to the antigen, right, it will mark the pathogens for destructions by other immune cell, such as the phagocyte. Okay, so later I'll just show the process. Okay. Okay, sometimes they will ask about this one. Okay, recognize. Yeah, it's very important. You should know how to recognize how is the appearance of the blood cell. This is including in exam. So at the lymphocyte, just like this, okay? Lymphocyte, they have a very, very round, prominent nucleus, just like this. So this is a lymphocyte. See, this one, they just look like this. Round, and then with a very, very big nucleus. And that nucleus is very, very big until it occupies half of the space. So this is a lymphocyte. This is also lymphocyte. See, this is also lymphocyte. How about phagocyte? Phagocyte will be larger a bit. It will be larger a bit, just like this. And then usually, right, phagocyte, right, they have a long nucleus. See, this is phagocyte. Okay, they just like U shape. For the lymphocyte, the nucleus just round. Okay, so this one you can read by yourself. Okay, for this one, lymphocyte and phagocyte, right? Their function is different. Lymphocyte is to produce the antibody, immunity, active immunity, produce the memory cell for the long-term protection, long-term immunity protections. Phagocyte, okay, which is also another kind of white blood cell. So what phagocyte will do? Phagocyte, right? They will do the phagocytosis. Okay, they will do phagocytosis. So they will just engulf and digest the pathogens. The keyword. Okay, this is also the same thing. Yeah, what's the purpose? Okay. Okay. This they asked about what? They asked about. Okay, I think this is also repeated already. See how you can measure your pulse. You can measure by placing your finger. One of the method. Okay, placing your finger on the wrist, neck, or major artery. So you can calculate number of beats per minute. And then for this one, describe the effect of heart of a blockage in the coronary artery. So this one, right? Okay, what happened if your coronary artery is being blocked? So that means that your oxygen and glucose, right, cannot be supplied to your cardiac muscle, to cardiac tissue. So they will cause a reduction in the aerobic respiration in the cardiac muscle. So the tissue will die. Yeah. So they will not able to contract. And then you have what? You have a heart attack. Yeah, heart attack. So this is also one of the important point. Okay. Yeah, so this all you can read by yourself. Okay, read by yourself. And then I want to show about what. I think that's all for the chapter 9. Okay, that's all for chapter 9. And then now I want to discuss a little about chapter 7, but time is running out. It's okay. I will just briefly go through with you. Okay, so you can see this is a villi. This is a villi, and then okay, this is the chapter 7. Adults, you should know about how to recognize the structures. So you can see what is a B. What is this one? P. What is a P? What is a Q? What's the R? What's the S? What is this? P? What do you think? P, you can see, right? P is just a bit fat. You can see the outline, which is here. See? What is P? Can you recognize it? It's a cell who produces mucus. So what is the name of cell? Okay, and that's what I remember. What is the name of cell to produce a mucus?
Goblet cell.
Yeah, it's a goblet cell, correct. How about Q? Q, right, is a middle side. So Q is actually lacteal. Q is a lacteal. How about R? R is a circular structure like this, right? So whenever you see about this one, circular structures, okay, like this. Oh, see like this, okay, like this. Circle, okay, circle is what? It's a blood capillary. Because blood capillary is a tubular structure, right? Like this, okay, tubular structures. When you cut on the middle part, and then you just look at the cross sections, you can see the round circle like this. So R is a capillary. How about S? S is the intestines epithelial cell, which is lining up by the microvilli. Okay, know the structure. Okay, and then the function of the villi, okay, to absorb the digested food molecule from intestine to the blood. And then write each row, okay, each row for the structures. Yeah. So you need to differentiate, you need to differentiate villi and microvilli. See, the function of villi is to what? Villi is to absorb the food molecule, okay, which is the it's not sucrose, amino acids, glucose, right? And also the fatty acid glycerol, just absorb those kind of nutrient molecule from the intestines to the bloodstream. But how about microvilli? Microvilli, right, is to increase, because microvilli is just lining on the surface of villi. So their intention is to increase the total surface area. I want to see this keyword, surface area. Yeah. So you can increase the rate of nutrient absorptions. Yeah. So that's a keyword. And then how about capillary? The blood capillary, just remember that blood capillary, right, is thinness. It's not thinness. It's a one cell thick. You can say this one. They consist of very thin wall, okay? Vein, you can write thin wall. Vein, which is the vein, right? You can write thin wall. But in the capillary, right, you should write very thin wall, or you can say one cell thick, which means that it's very, very thin. So that's why they can allow the quick diffusion, okay, for the nutrient molecule into the blood. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Blood plasma. Okay. What kind of the component in blood to transport nutrients? So it's a blood plasma. So just remember that blood plasma is a component of blood, right? Which is a liquid part of blood. Blood plasma actually is liquid part of blood. I mean, it's a liquid part of the blood side, and then it occupies about 55%, which it consists of the mineral ions, the amino acids, those kind of the glucose. Yeah. So blood plasma will help to transport the nutrients. Nutrients, right, are being carried in form of the glucose, amino acids, ions, that kind of the molecule. And then for this one, see, I hope you still remember. The nutrients in the blood, right, now they can be absorbed, uptake by the cell. So when they uptake by the cell, they become part of the cell. This is the assimilations. Now, at that point, which organs will process the assimilations? Okay, assimilation occur at which kind of organ? Which organs they will do the assimilations? See, remember? Liver, yeah, it's a liver. So just remember, liver, they will do the assimilation, deamination. Okay, because of this is a lot of people, a lot of students, right? They just confuse it. Okay, so later I will just resend the note for the human nutrition, which is this one. Okay, for you to revise back. Okay, because I just update my note. I'm so sorry. Later I will just resend again to you. You can read back. Okay. If you don't have time to read back, it's okay. Next week I will just go through with you again. You should know about this one. Hi, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Just now I just lose my connections. Okay, just a few minutes. I think 5 more minutes. Let me go through review about the pathway for the nutrient digestion. Okay, this one later I will just send to you, and then you can have a revisions back on how the, how the nutrient molecule being processed in our body. For example, right, we talk about the 3 macronutrients: glucose, fats. Oh, sorry, it's not glucose. Carbohydrates, fats, and the proteins, right? And then now we talk about the carbohydrate first. So, okay, which is the starch in the food, right? They're being broken down by the enzyme, okay? Become what? Become the maltose. Maltose become the glucose. So later, the intensive villi, they will absorb the glucose. So glucose will get into the bloodstream, okay? Then from the bloodstream, they will go to where? Liver. They'll go to the liver by what? By the hepatic portal vein. So you can see, right, this is the blood vessel, okay? So once the nutrient is being absorbed into the intensive villi, so we transport to the liver by the hepatic portal veins. Yeah, so later the livers, they can do the assimilations. So how they can do the assimilations? So this is a lot of students, they feel very confused. What is actually assimilations? So assimilation, you know that is a nutrient molecule become part of the cell, right? So that's why once the glucose enter the liver, okay, so that's why the glucose, right, they can just get into the liver cell. Liver, they consider liver cell, right? So that's why liver cell, they can just uptake the glucose. Or glucose, right, they can diffuse to the bloodstream and uptake, and then uptake by other kind of the body cell. Because body cell require glucose to do what? To do the cellular aerobic respirations, which is this one, okay? Remember the equations. So this is assimilation. So this assimilations, okay, in the liver. So liver, they will just transport, okay? They will just help to transport the glucose to the body cell. Any kind of body cell, no matter it's a liver cell, muscle cell, bone cell, any kind of cell. So they just do the cellular aerobic respirations. Okay, and then what happens if you have excess glucose? If you have excess glucose, your body will respond by stimulate the production of insulin from your pancreas. Insulin, right? So insulin, they will convert the glucose become glycogen and store inside liver and muscle. Yeah. So this means that if you have excess glucose in your body can store excess glucose in form of glycogens. Okay, this is by your fingertip, okay? You just need to understand now, okay? Just need to understand, and then you will be more able to know how to answer the questions. And then for this one, pathway for the amino acids. So after the proteins, which is a large molecule being broken down by the pepsins, trypsins, right? And then become what? Amino acids, okay? So later the intensive villi, which is the blood capillary, okay? The blood capillary on the intensive villi, they'll just absorb the amino acids. So now amino acids, they will just enter to the bloodstream. From the bloodstream, they will just get into the liver again. Same to the glucose by the hepatic portal veins. So once the liver uptake the amino acid, right? Okay, so assimilation will happen. So which is the amino acid, they can be uptake by other kind of body cell, any kind of body cell. So that's why your body cell, they can just take up the amino acids to use them for the tissue repair, growth, or to produce any kind of protein products. Now, so this is usage. Protein is just for the tissue repair and growth. It will not utilize to produce energy. That's not the role of proteins. Proteins, their main role is to repair your tissue, to allow growth, grow and produce any kind of protein products. So what happens if you have excess amino acid? You undergo a process called as what? Deaminations. Okay, you have deamination in the liver, right? Because the liver, they will do what? Okay, liver, they will do the removal of the amine group, which is the NH3. Yeah, which is it's NH2. Sorry, NH2. This one, amine group, right? Is NH2. Yeah. So later, after they remove the amine group, they will become ammonia. Ammonia is NH3. Oh, okay. Ammonia is NH3. So later from the ammonia, they will become the urea. Okay, why the ammonia need to become urea? And that's why ammonia need to become urea. Why they cannot become ammonia and being squeezed out by our urine? Because ammonia is what? Toxic, right? Ammonia is toxic. Toxic is not good to our body, okay? It's not good to our body cell. So that's why we need to convert, become less toxic urea. Urea is less toxic compared to the ammonia. So this process also happens in the liver. So that's why liver produce urea, not kidney. So later the urea will be excreted out by the kidney in form of urine. That's all. So just remember that your body cannot store excess amino acids. Remember, your body will not store excess amino acids. Excess amino acid, they will be discarded from your body through deaminations by the liver in form of the urea excreted out by the urine. Okay, you can refer to this one. Okay, a very nice picture. I hope you like the picture. Yeah, so you can see, right, the pathway is very, very clear. Okay, how the proteins undergo the digestion in the stomach. Only stomach they will do protein digestion, not other kind of digestion. So because some students they will just think that stomach they also can help to digest carbohydrates or lipid, which is incorrect. Stomach only focus on the protein digestions. Okay, and then small intestines they will do all kind of digestions, include the proteins, carbohydrate, and also the lipid, because they can receive all of the enzyme from the pancreas, right? Yeah, which is the what kind of enzyme? Lipase, trypsins, and also the maltase, amylase. So you can see later they go to the villi, and then villi they get into liver, okay, by the hepatic portal veins. So liver they will do the assimilation, okay. So sorry, yeah, assimilations and the deaminations. Then they will produce the ammonia and then become the urea. Yeah, become the urea. Yeah, so become urine at the end. So other kind of amino acid, right, they will just use up by the cell, okay. A very nice picture. I hope you like it. And then now we go about the lipid, okay, lipid pathway. So if you have a lipid in the food, right, it will be digested by the by the lipase, okay. Lipase in the small intestines, which is the pancreatic lipase, and also the lipase produced from your ileum. You know, your ileum also can produce a lipase. So they just break down the lipid, become what? Fatty acid and glycerol. So both kind of nutrient molecule will be absorbed by the intestine villi through the lacteal. Okay, lacteal. Actually, this lacteal is a part of the lymphatic system, but lymphatic system is not your syllabus, so you don't need to know. Just need to know that lacteal, okay, they will absorb the fatty acid and glycerol and also the lipid soluble vitamins. So what happened? Just now, right? Just now, okay, for the glucose and amino acid from the from the blood capillary, right, to the liver, and then from the liver to the body cell. So now in the lipid, right, from the lacteal to where? To the lymphatic vessel. Okay, they will not go into liver. And that's wrong. They are not going to liver. They go into the lymphatic vessel because they are being absorbed by the lacteal. Yeah, so from the lymphatic vessel, they will just go back to our bloodstream. So from the bloodstream, right, they will be drained back to our heart. Because just remember that every of our blood, right, they will go through your heart. 就是说我们心脏，不是我们心脏，我们身体所有的这个血都会经过心脏，就这么简单。Yeah. So from the heart, okay, they will pump the blood to the body cell. Pump the blood to the body cell, okay, which is the heart, right? They consist of aorta. So aorta, they just allow the blood to be transported to all part of body cell. So whenever the whenever the fatty acid glycerol, they reach your body cell, right, they will have a assimilation of lipid in the body cell. See, this time assimilation occur in the body cell, not in the liver. Yeah, so that's why your body cell, they can use the lipid. They can use the fatty acid glycerol to do what? To become like this, okay? Cushions to protect organs, storage of energy, insulator. So those are the function of the lipid. Okay, so you can see, right? Yeah. So just imagine that this is a lipid. See, this is a lipid, and then this will be the bile. Okay, bile is being produced by the liver. Okay, so they will do the emulsifications. So this emulsification, right? See, they make the lipid become smaller in their particles. This is the physical digestion. So later they will be break down by the lipase, which is a chemical digestion, become fatty acid glycerol. Okay, and then they'll be absorbed by lactate. So here's the lactate. See, which is the green part. Okay, the green part, and then from lactate they just enter the lymphatic system. See, this is a lymphatic vessel. in华语课 is what? 淋巴管. Lymphatic vessel. So later lymphatic vessel, they will still go back to the circulatory system. Just go back to the heart, okay? From the heart to the circulatory system. Yeah. And then from the heart, right, they will just go to the body cell, see? To the body cell. Yeah. So that's why the cell will alter lipid for the energy. Okay. Lipid also considered as a alternating source of energy. Okay, it's alternating source of energy because carbohydrate will still be the primary source of energy, which is your body cell will prefer the carbohydrates to provide them as a source of energy, not lipid. Lipid will only be used once the carbohydrate is being depleted. That's all. So this is the function of lipid. Have a look. Exam they just come out this before. Okay, they ask you the state of a function of lipid. So you can say a lipid is a cushions, just protect your internal organs as an alternate source of energy. Acting like the heat insulator. And then your body can store excess form of lipid. And that's why if you eat too much of lipid, right, it will be stored in your body in the form of fats. See? Yeah, so the lipid, they are stored in the edible tissue, okay? So that's why the people will become fat, okay? They will have obesity or arteriosclerosis, okay? Arteriosclerosis due to what? Due to the black or cholesterol is building up in your wall of the in the lumen of your artery. Okay, that's all for today. I know you are very tired now. Okay, so I will send this note to you, and then we continue to do more questions. Okay, we continue to practice about paper 4. Yeah. Okay. Last year October question. Okay, can you do it? And that's last year October question. I will send it in the group. Okay. Bye. Happy study. Bye. Bye. Bye.